Greetings, salutations, and hello. My name is Ronnie. I am a part-time seller of many things on the interwebs, and in this video we're going to recount all of the things that I sold on my eBay store last week. And it was a decent week, despite the red numbers that we're seeing, but we're looking at the period of August 8th through August 15th, 2022. Let's get into some numbers. $436.71 worth of sales, down almost 25% from the week before. But for me personally, again, part-time reseller, if I'm bringing home over $200 a week in my pocket, I feel really good about that. So even though the numbers are down, I feel very positive about that. 17 total items sold, which is great. There's 7 days in a week. I love to hit about 3 items every day. You know, sometimes those items are going to be a little bit higher in dollar value. So again, as long as we're still up above $200 in net profit each week, well, not really net profit, but net sales, the money we get after fees, after shipping, it doesn't take into account things like cost of goods, which typically, when I look at a number like that, I would think cost of goods, maybe like $40 because all this stuff is just thrifted goods. My selling costs were $175.04, so that's our shipping and our eBay fees. They get their cut. We had 17 total buyers. Every single one of them was a first-time buyer. So once again, your brand doesn't matter on eBay unless you're a famous YouTuber. Science, right there in front of you. It doesn't matter. As long as you have a nice good that people want, it's in good condition, and your price is on point, they're going to buy it from you, as long as you've got decent feedback. My top categories: clothing, shoes, and accessories, video games, and consoles. I sold one video game, that's why that's on there. Clothing, shoes, and accessories, toys and hobbies, and collectibles. Here's our total sales. We can look at promoted listing sales, didn't have any. Offer sales, so the sales that I had through Best Offer, which is pretty much like the majority of my sales, almost 50% of my sales occurred because I have Best Offer turned on. I watched a TikTok from a TikToker that I really enjoy, Jiggly Thrift. Was it Jiggly Thrift? I don't think it was Jiggly Thrift. I think it was somebody else. Maybe it was K-Way Shop. I don't remember. Somebody on TikTok, and they were saying, I don't do Best Offer anymore. It's just too much nonsense, too much garbage. You get people lowballing you. But I generate a lot of sales because of Best Offer. Just because somebody makes an offer on something, that doesn't mean that you have to accept it. A lot of times, if I've just listed an item, this just happened this week, I listed a bunch of Lego Dimensions toys. I priced them very competitively. I received offers of $5 below my asking price, and I declined those offers. No big deal. But then as the items get a little bit older, I don't have to go back in and then turn on Best Offer because that takes time. I just like leaving it on from the get-go because some weeks I'm like, I've got no sales. I want to generate sales. And if an offer hits me at the right time, if it's within the ballpark, maybe I'll accept it. Or at the very least, you can just submit a counter offer. You can just say, I don't like your price, but how about this one? And then once again, the buyer can accept it or they can move on. So I really like Best Offer. I think it's a good thing. I think one of the main complaints that people has about it is that people can offer you a price for an item and you can accept it, but then their money isn't immediately taken. So they could then decide, well, I don't really want it. And then you could just be out all of that time. Whereas on a platform like Mercari, if somebody makes an offer, you accept it, they're immediately charged for that. eBay supposedly is bringing that feature online, but I don't have it yet. Who knows when it's going to be here. There's the breakdown of my selling costs. eBay fees, 58 buckaroonies. Shipping labels, 116.41. We're down 9.7 points over the previous week, which is good. That's an area that we do want to be down on. And here's all of the items that I sold. So we'll go into each one of those listings individually, and we'll show you what it is exactly that we sold and how much we got for it. First up, we've got a vintage Space Invaders Atari video game. Sold for a whopping $2. It was in my store forever. Even had the manual. These are not worth picking up. Don't do it. Another item that I had in my store forever. White on white background. It's an Express sweater. Express clothing. I haven't had any luck with it. $3 plus shipping, and it was in my store for like 6 months. Brand new with tags, LL Bean size 20. So these are some large jeans, women's jeans. Only sold for $5. White on white background. So I know that they're old. That's my old background that I used when I was first starting out. And I just can't believe that I couldn't get anybody to bite on these until I got them down to $5. Yuck. We've got ourselves a vintage Ping golf polo. Check that out. That's a pretty ugly polo. I gotta say, that's not my style. I would say that maybe grandfathers in the 1970s were rocking that thing out. But yeah, I paid $25 for it. Sold for $5. Nothing too crazy. As you can see, I unloaded a lot of inventory last week. I did a lot of markdowns on stuff that's been in my store basically since the inception of time. So those white on white background kinds of things, they got marked down, and what do you know? They're cheap enough and they sold. Woohoo! Finally, I bought a large lot of these Leapfrog books and game cartridges. So this is both. Had them originally listed for, I think, $10 a piece, and they went down and down and down. And now I've sold 4 of them now at this point for $2 a piece plus shipping. Would not recommend. Sold to Brickheads, free shipping. I paid $20 for this, so I pretty much just, got my $20 back because I offered free shipping, but it sold for $29. Free shipping. I used to own a Bricklink store, so I would sell individual parts and pieces, and somehow this large lot of tires missed the big Lego purge that I had whenever I sold a bunch of stuff on Whatnot. So I just threw them all on eBay, and they sold for $20 plus shipping. Very odd item here. It was a new in-box game called Topspin. Vintagey. Sold for $7 plus shipping. This makes me sad seeing these because I got a return request for them. The person put them on, and they said the first day that they wore them, the heel cracked. So like they had a picture, and like the heel just kind of like totally fell apart. I didn't bend them or test them. They seemed like they were in good shape. So I just messaged the buyer, apologized, and gave them a full refund. Told them to just keep the shoes because I wasn't going to relist them. So they might as well not spend money trying to ship them back to me. So bummer. But an opportunity to provide good quality customer service and keep folks happy, even though there's no repeat buyers. But whatever, it's the right thing to do. Vintage Dallas Cowboys shirt. This is a cool one. Lee, that tag there, that's kind of neat. $11 plus shipping. I paid 10 cents for this, I believe, and it even had that stain there at the bottom. Doesn't that look nice? I've had quite a history with this pair of pants. I originally sold them on Poshmark. The buyer didn't like them once they got them, so they returned them, and I listed them back on Poshmark, and they never would sell. So then I brought them over to eBay, where the shipping is a little bit cheaper, and they sold for $9 plus shipping. Had $1 into this pair of pants. I do have really good luck selling American Eagle jogger style pants. Women's super stretch jeans. I haven't found any of those in a while, but I would say that that's a be on the lookout for anything American Eagle that's in good shape, that's super stretch or jogger style. Probably my favorite sell of the week right here. There was like 15 video games at a thrift shop that I went to, and I just scooped them all up. They were all $1. And I was like, I can at least make $1 out of them. Maybe there's a hidden gem in there somewhere. I just don't really like to spend the time to look stuff up if it's not a pricey item in the store. I'll just buy it and accept the loss later on. Maybe that's not the best way to go about it. I feel like my time is valuable, and it takes me a long time to like go through a thrift store and look up all that stuff. So I didn't look this up, but I was really elated to find out whenever I got home that I had found one of those hidden gems. Originally listed it for $65. It was on my store for about a month. Sold for $55. So NCAA basketball, the one with Blake Griffin on the cover, that's a good one. That's going to sell for some good money. I've got a 100% sell-through rate on Vibram 5-finger toe shoe thingies. Every single pair I've picked up, now this is the 4th one, I've sold them very quickly. This old, ugly, dingy pair of 5 toes sold for $14 plus shipping. Pretty quick, too. Nice little scoop here. I didn't expect to sell this until around Christmas time. Listed it for $25. It was on my store for about 2 weeks. And this is a case where I'm like, sell this for $20. They offered me $20, only $5 off of my asking price. Totally fine with that. I only had $1 into this thing. The tough thing with something like this is, of course, shipping. But I bubble wrapped the crap out of it. I made sure that it was packed in the package very, very tight. make sure that if it does have any kind of electronic components that you take pictures that shows it lit up, which I did. And this is from 99, so yeah, that one sold pretty quick. Feel good about it. Another really quick sale, another really solid sale. I paid $1 for these from a thrift store, and they sold within 2 weeks for $60 plus shipping. So these are like a special edition of the Nike Hyper Dunks. They're the breast cancer edition. The regular Hyper Dunks do not sell for this kind of money, but if you can find the breast cancer edition, especially ones like this was manufactured in 2011, so these are over a decade old at this point. Really lucky to find them in as good a shape as I did. Here's a yard sale flip. I bought this North Face coat for $5, actually from my neighbor. They're having a little yard sale. I put it through the wash. It still wound up having some stains, makeup stains I think those are, probably on the inside collar of that. Listed. I wanted to hold on to it and list it a little bit closer to wintertime. This sold really quickly. The comps were right around in this area, and I was thinking that it seemed like when I was listing it that I was not getting what I was thinking I would get for a North Face. It's imitation goose down coat, but I figured I'd probably get like $50 or $60, and maybe I could have, and maybe that's what I should have priced it at. I do have another one of these that is actually goose, so I wanted to kind of put this one on there to test out the market, because like I say, whenever I looked up comps, it seemed like they were all going for around $20-$25, but that also could be because we're in August right now and it's freaking hot outside. So, you know, it is what it is. We sold it. It's gone. Moving on. Last item to review today, and this is another journeyman item. This one was sold on eBay previously, and the person said it didn't fit, so they returned it. And I do require my buyers to pay for return shipping if it's something to do with like a defect in the product or just doesn't fit or they don't like it. Then I ask them to pay for the shipping. If I said defect before, but like if there's something wrong with it when they get it and I didn't disclose that, like there's a hole in the shirt that I didn't disclose in the listing, then I'll pay for shipping to return it. Or most likely what I will do is what I did with those clogs. I'll just refund the whole purchase price, wash my hands of it. That way I don't have to worry about additional shipping charges with them shipping it back. But so the buyer tried this on. They didn't like it. It didn't fit. They returned it. They paid for that shipping, even though it was only a $9 item. So they paid like $5-$6 to ship it back. And then maybe 2 weeks later, it's sold again. So it's in transit right now. I have not received feedback for it. Best of luck to you, Batik Bay, however you say that. I hope that the buyer likes you this time. And that'll wrap it up for another weekly sales report. Hope that you guys enjoyed that. I had a really funny comment from somebody. I didn't grab the name before I started recording, but I was thinking about that comment as I hit the record button. They said, "These are not very entertaining, but the knowledge within it is very good." So I appreciate that. I try to be entertaining, but for the most part, you know, I just am not. I accept that. I know who I am. But yeah, I hope that I'm able to share some knowledge with you guys and you guys get some good tidbits to help out your own resale game out there. Until next time, happy buying, happy selling. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.